back to Green Hill Gaming, where I share my passion of video games with the whole wide world. In this live stream, I'll be showcasing the console that was ahead of its time, the SEGA Dreamcast. So sit back, relax, grab your time machine, because we're going back in time. But as always, and more importantly, enjoy the live stream. So as you watch the opening intro to Soul Calibur on the SEGA Dreamcast, I have some interesting facts. So, the SEGA Dreamcast. Random Dog. Welcome back to Green Hill Gaming, Random Dog. How are you doing? How is your day going? You are very welcome to the live stream where I'm showcasing the console that was ahead of its time, Random Dog. The SEGA Dreamcast. So I hope you're doing well, Random Dog. And I hope you enjoy the live stream. So, interesting facts. The SEGA Dreamcast, which is the console that was ahead of its time, was released in Europe, my region, in October of 1999. And it had quite a lot of advantages, even over the PlayStation 2, which would release over a year later in Europe in November of 2000. One of those advancements that the SEGA Dreamcast had over the PlayStation 2 was online features. You could connect the SEGA Dreamcast to the internet directly from the built-in Ethernet connection on the back of the SEGA Dreamcast. The PlayStation 2 would get online functionality with the network adapter, which would release in June of 2003. 2003. So almost 4 years before the PlayStation 2 went online in Europe, the Dreamcast was capable of going online to play games like Phantasy Star Online and Quake 3 Arena. Comments time there now. This stream just started. Yeah, you literally joined at the beginning of the live stream. Today is your lucky day, Random Dog. This game right here that you're looking at, Soul Calibur, this game released in Europe in 1999, and just look at those visuals. Another advantage, let me just restart the game. Another advancement that the Dreamcast had over definitely over the PlayStation 1, which was its competition at the time, was the fact that you could actually display your games either in 50 Hz or 60 Hz, which is the display that I have chosen. I agree, the N64 and the PS1 weren't as powerful. No, the Sega Dreamcast was definitely a lot more powerful than the Nintendo 64, and it was quite more powerful than the PlayStation 1 as well. Let me just look at these visuals. Another advancement that the Sega Dreamcast had over the PlayStation 1 and even the PlayStation 2 was the Sega Dreamcast's memory card, or as it's called, the Sega Mega Drive Visual Memory Unit, which you slotted into the top of the controller. It has its own display screen, and right now it is displaying the logo for this game, Soul Calibur. But it's a lot more exciting than that, because you can actually detach the memory card. And once you do, there's a whole lot more than just being a memory card allowing you to save your progress. It is essentially a mini games console that you can take with you on the go and interact with anytime, and it's got a lot of interesting features, including the ability to view your games, your game files, and delete them, even copy them onto other VMU systems as well. Yeah, essentially a mini Game Boy. Far better though in areas like what I'm about to show you. So you can access your game saves, delete them, copy them onto other VMUs by detaching the two. You can see how many free blocks you have. Just want to point out at this early stage, its competition. Its competition at the time was this. This is a PlayStation 1 memory card, and its purpose is to save your games, and that's where it ends. So you can see that the SEGA Dreamcast is way ahead of its time. So it also has games. So certain SEGA Dreamcast games will have its own mini game that you can play on this device anywhere. One of them, not so much a game, but it is a feature, and it is connected to Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I hope you're picking this up. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to do quite a few things. You can check your level and experience of the game. So right now in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I am level 18. Now as you can see, I'm not even playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and this is not even connected to the console. Again, it operates as a mini console. You can also check your overall points. My overall points at the moment is 1,155. You can use those points to actually purchase characters, which you can do right now. So I can get a new costume for Magneto. I can get a new fighter, BB Hood, or Blackheart. I want right now. You can also check your characters. You can select what stages you have. You can trade. You can trade fighters with other players when you connect the two venues together. And you can check your play time as well. And again, this released in 1999. The PS2 hadn't even been released yet. Its only competition was the N64 and the PlayStation 1. So its competition was this. So I will slot the visual memory unit back into its controller, and I will read some lovely comments. Actually, forgot to put the flash on, actually. Here we go. Small PS1 memory card. I mean, the PS1 memory card does its job. It does what it needs to do. 100%. Not bashing PS1 or its memory card, just pointing out the fact that the SEGA Dreamcast was ahead of its time. And hopefully you can see that in the visuals right now for Soul Calibur, which released in 1999. So that's the purpose of this live stream, really, is just to show you and explain to you why the SEGA Dreamcast was the console that was ahead of its time. So let's get stuck into some gameplay of Soul Calibur. So you can do. So obviously this is the iconic arcade fighter Soul Calibur. So you can play the arcade. You can do versus battle. You can do team battle, time attack, survival. You can even have a virtual museum of Soul Calibur treasures. You can practice options, mission battle, which I didn't even know was a thing. But I'm going to get stuck into the actual arcade itself. So just take note of the fact that, again, this console, the Sega Dreamcast, released in October of 1999 in Europe. Its competition at the time was the PlayStation 1, because the PS2 hadn't released until November of 2000. And its competition was also the N64 as well. So just keep that in mind. So I suppose visually, its competition would be Tekken, like particularly Tekken 3, because that was the most kind of recent Tekken around this time. So you can choose your characters: Aldo, Ivy, Sofitia, Mitsushi, Kilk, Zaihangua, Maxi, Nightmare, Taki, or Asteron. I'm going to go with Nightmare. Now, what makes Soul Calibur really stand out? How many gigabytes are there in that card? We didn't reach gigabytes at that stage. I don't think gigabytes were reached until like PS3 time. I think it's KB, if I'm not mistaken. I actually don't know. I can check that later on in the stream for you. But it's in KB. So there's KB, I believe it's KB, MB, and gigabyte. I think that's, and then obviously terabyte. I think so. So as you can see, what makes Soul Calibur stand out to fighters like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and Tekken is the fact that you could, well, Mortal Kombat eventually introduced weapons. But I was going to say, like, so yeah, it's the fact that you're actually battling with weapons, and you also can knock your opponent. So not only can you defeat your opponent through the traditional knockout system, but you can also knock them off the edge of the screen. I've noticed that generally it's quite an easy fighting game, but just take notes of the visuals in every the lighting, just the character models. Yeah, KB, MB, gigabytes, and terabytes. And just bear in mind that its competition would be. There was one fighting game on the Nintendo 64. I actually had it myself. I keep forgetting the name of it, but obviously there was Street Fighter games on PS1 and Mortal Kombat as well. So I feel like this game. Hello, Nash. Nash, welcome back to Green Hill Gaming. How are you doing, Nash? How is your day going? You are very welcome to my live stream where I'm showcasing the console that was ahead of its time, the Sega Dreamcast. It was ahead of its time in many areas, which I pointed out at the start of the live stream. One of them in particular, which I really kind of am fascinated by, is the fact that as early as when this console released in Europe in October of 1999, it already had online capabilities. The Sega Dreamcast came with a built-in Ethernet cable, so you could hook up your Dreamcast to the internet right then and there. You could play games like Phantasy Star Online and Quake 3 Arena, all online. The PS2, which was released over a year later in November of 2000, would get online features in June of 2003. So one of the areas that the Sega Dreamcast is ahead of its time is the area of online functionality. Obviously, as you can see right now, I mean, one of the biggest advancements that the Dreamcast had over its competition, the PS1 and the N64, was just its visuals, just its specs, just vastly superior to what the N64 was offering and what PlayStation was offering. Glad you're keeping well, Nash, and yeah, man, you are very welcome back to the live stream. So as you can see, it's quite an easy fighting game. I suppose you can just turn up the difficulty if you wanted to. I've got a nice little candle here actually that I want to showcase this candle as well. Just randomly. So you can pull off lots of Jesus, lots of different moves, which I'm going to try to do now. For now, I do. I lose for now. And they're actually called battles as opposed to fights, which is interesting. Should block more, shouldn't I? Boom, did you see that? That was luck. And I just noticed something. Right now on the display screen of the visual memory unit, my character is actually, there's a portrait of my character. So that's another area that these Sega Dreamcast was vastly ahead of its competition. The N64 and PS1 was its just memory card. Its competition, once again, was this. Again, not having a go at PlayStation or memory card, just pointing out how the Sega Dreamcast was ahead of the competition. And I am aware that that's fine. The camera was just adjusting there. So there's lots of features of the visual memory unit. And one of them is what I just showed you there, is just the display screen of the VMU showing a portrait of whatever character you choose. Sorry about the video quality. Candle Showcase. Huh? It's Candle. What game is this? This is Soul Calibur on the Sega Dreamcast. Why isn't anyone saying you're good at this game? Oh, believe me, this game is easy. Believe me, this is quite an easy game. Believe me, I ain't showcasing any skills here. Believe me. On skills, see me play Mortal Kombat. But just look at these visuals right now. Again, I want to point out that the competition at the time was the PS1 and the N64. Just look at the details of the environment, the character models, the lighting, the special effects, all of those kind of like spec things that I have no idea what I'm talking about. But you know what I mean. Just long story short, look at the visuals, man. So I wanted to do a video like this for quite a while, just really show. Unfortunately, I can't showcase the online features of the Dreamcast because I'd have to find some kind of like hack or something like that. I think people have created like their own servers to keep the Dreamcast online to this day, but there's no official Sega, Dreamcast servers still up to this day. So I can't showcase that. But once again, at the back of the Sega Dreamcast, there is an Ethernet cable. It was there from launch. Allowing me to play and connect to the internet from launch. I love sunsets. A lot of sunsets in this game. Me too. Do you want to play any Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2? Yeah, squeeze in a bit of Sonic Adventure if you want into this live stream. Can actually showcase some of the online features. Obviously, I can't connect to the internet, but I can kind of show you. I'll show a bit of Sonic Adventure 2, yeah. So stick around. Stick around, Nash, and you will see a bit of Sonic Adventure 2. I know Nash is a big fan of Sonic. Who isn't? So we even have weather right now. It's actually raining on the stage. Oh, look at this. What a replay. Oh, it didn't show me stabbing him off the stage. That was the best part. Oh, he got his revenge there. He got his revenge there now, big time. Oh, he got me. The soul still burns indeed. So this was actually a launch title, I believe, for the SEGA Dreamcast in Europe. So yeah, released in 1999. October of 1999 to be exact. So this game was made by Namco. They also made the Tekken series. I really believe that if the Sega Dreamcast didn't fail, because unfortunately it did, for a number of reasons really, but mostly because of bad timing when it launched. PS2 was around the corner, and Xbox were entering the gaming market as well. But I really feel like if it was done right, I really feel like the Sega Dreamcast would have been what we know as the Xbox now. Because I mean, Xbox were boasting online, you know, capabilities, Xbox Live when they came along. But there was, I mean, Sega had their own online service, before Xbox even came along, you know. And again, like I mean, you know, because everyone's mind is different, and they react to things differently. So if there's anyone watching this live stream right now or watching the video when it gets uploaded onto YouTube and just gets the impression that I'm some kind of, you know, that I'm having a go at Sony or PlayStation or Microsoft or Nintendo, I'm not. That's not the case. I'm just simply pointing out a console that um, was ahead of its time. And I can't just sit here and say something without providing facts and backing it up. You know, that would be a fanboy. You know, um, I'm just I'm just making a live stream about why the Sega Dreamcast is ahead of its time. So you know, not about having a go at a PlayStation or having a go at N64 or anything like that. Be right back. No problem, random dog. I'll be here for a while, but yep. See you soon. I actually haven't knocked anyone off the stage yet. I mean, I'm not being funny, but when I look at these visuals, man, I see like I see launch, I see PS2 launch quality is what I see when I see these visuals. And again, this was 1999. You can also move around in 3D as well, actually. So it's a 3D fighter. It's a 3D fighter. I mean, 3D fighting was it was a bit tricky back then, you know, which is why you don't really see a whole lot of 3D fighters now. I mean, I can't remember. I don't think Street Fighter was 3D. Street Fighter 5. I know that Mortal Kombat 11 is definitely not 3D. I think fans of fighters just prefer perfect. Look at that. It's an easy fighter. I reckon by default the difficulty must be set to like easy or something. I'm not too sure now of that, to be honest with you. Or final boss. Inferno. And as you can see, he deals a lot of damage. But just look at the lighting effect from the flames of Inferno on 1999 hardware. Of course I win. Oh, as you can see, he deals a lot of damage. Final battle. Hello, Maria. Welcome to Green Hill Gaming. How are you doing, Maria? How was your day going? You are very welcome to my live stream where I'm showcasing the console that was ahead of its time, the SEGA Dreamcast. And right now I'm showcasing one example, which is the specs of the Dreamcast, just how visually it was ahead of its time with Soul Calibur. So I hope you enjoyed the live stream. Nash knows be right back. I was just going to play some. Sonic Adventure 2. I guess Sonic Adventure 2 booted up, and hopefully you're back by then. Because I'll actually show another example of why the Sega Dreamcast was ahead of its time. Because I wanted to sit here and say it was ahead of its time and not actually showcase that, you know. I've seen the ending there for Nightmare. So I've got quite a few Dreamcast games actually that I am kind of that I'd be interested in showcasing in quite a few live streams. At the moment, I'm not dedicating my YouTube channel to any specific game or game series. I'm sure some people will be happy to hear that. As of right now, anyway. I mean, it's not to say I won't be doing that again, but as of right now, my next live stream could be anything. So I'm sure that's going to make a few people, particularly Supon, happy. Glad you're doing well, Maria. So Maria, I want to show you something. This is the SEGA Dreamcast Visual Memory Unit. It's basically the memory card for the SEGA Dreamcast. However, when you detach it from the controller, it's upside down now, but taking on most of that, it operates as its own mini console. So it's got its own display screen and it's got its own buttons. So once you press sleep mode, SEGA Visual Memory Unit. So one of the first and basic things you can do with the SEGA Visual Memory Unit is check to see how many blocks you have. Right now I think I have 94 blocks, I think anyway. You can check to see what kind of games you have. So I have Marvel vs. Capcom 2. You can delete your save files. You can even copy your save files onto other VMUs by detaching the two together with that. So it's handy. I mean, this is completely portable, as you can see, so you can do all this on the go. There is also mini games and features as well that are associated to the game. So this is an example of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, where you can do lots of interesting things like purchasing characters, checking your experience and level, checking your play time and stuff like that. So it's going to give you an example there now. So I can go to the shop and I can buy new skins for characters in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or characters. So that's just an example of the SEGA Visual Memory Unit. Portable device well before the Wii U came along, before the Switch came along. So an example of the fact that it's ahead of its time, and its competition at that time was this. And again, not having a go at PlayStation, not having a go at memory card, just pointing out facts. So, anyone gets offended, grow up here. So it's back into the controller. What is my name? I don't know my name. Because why not? I'm very mature, aren't I? So Nash requested Sonic Adventure 2. Ironically, Nash is not here anymore. Oh, that new character. Huang Sung Wong. If I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, to be honest with you. Okay, I am actually going to be right back, actually, because I'm actually going to be able to show you two examples of how the Sega Dreamcast was ahead of its time. And it involves more features of the Sega Dreamcast visual memory unit and its online features. Now, obviously, I can't actually connect it into them right now because of the year was 2022. This console came out in 1999. Obviously, Sega servers are not still live. But if they were, and if my modem was here, I'd be able to connect my Dreamcast directly to the modem and connect to the internet. But obviously, as again pointed out, the servers are no longer live. So I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get another Sega visual memory unit. It has a few features inside of it. So that's what I want to show you. So I'll be right back in just a moment. And I am back in the room. So this is another VMU that I actually have, and there's a game inside here that's connected to Sonic Adventure 2. It's called Chow. Mine replaced the battery. That happens sometimes. She's back to normal again now. Okay, so it's called Chow Adventure 2, and basically it's a Chow that goes on an adventure. Surprisingly, so he'll walk along the path, and every now and again, he will like chat to you, and the adventure will unfold. So he says, "I love adventures." But today, I'm feeling a little down. Poor Chow. The truth is, you know that thing is always floating above every Chow's head. Chad lost it. I've named my Chow, Chad. You can name your Chow, which I'll show you in a moment. You say that I haven't lost it. This is just a baseball. I lost it, so I'm using a baseball instead. Please, Johnny, help me look for my Chow thing. Oh, so you can go with so you can actually choose like the path of your adventure. So you can choose Unlucky Chow or Samurai Chow. Samurai Chow sounds interesting. So he'll continue walking, and the Samurai Chow adventure will unfold. So you basically can put this into sleep mode, and like you don't have to have it on the whole time, so you can go into sleep mode, you know, make dinner, go for a walk, whatever else. But once you put it back on, you just leave it alone. Just leave this alone. You know, put it in your pocket, put it on the table, put it wherever, and you'll be notified of Chow's adventures. But what is interesting is this game also acts as like a Tamagotchi, so you can check the status. So its name is Chad. Check the stats of a swim, fly, run, and power capabilities, which I can actually show you in a moment in game in Sonic Adventure 2. You can also feed it a snack, but I don't have any at the moment. You can pet your Chow. Chow Chad is very happy now that I petted him. You can scold him, but I won't do that. You can check your items. I have a triangle something. I have a triangle fruit. You can also play slots, which you can actually get to like unlock snacks and stuff. Got a mystery item there, apparently. No idea what it was though. So that's just an example of that. You can say hello to other people who have the VMU. You can check the owner and friends and options. So that is an example of Chow Adventure, an entire mini game inside the VMU. It's a perfect example of how the Dreamcast is ahead of its time. Now I'm going to show you. How like Chow Adventure and the Chow interacts with Sonic Adventure 2 itself. So for that, I'm going to turn off Soul Calibur because I'm not going to be playing Soul Calibur anymore. And I'm now going to focus. Okay, I'm going to get a Sonic Adventure 2 now. I actually turned off my console there for a second. I was like, what is going on here? So yeah, I was just looking for my Sonic Adventure 2, which is inside here, don't worry. I put it inside here. I think I didn't put it in the back, I'm sure. No, that's the first one, okay. Must be in the front then. Okay, Sonic Adventure 2. I played a lot of Sonic Adventure 2. A couple of weeks back. So I think this game here just showcases, I think, everything I just said about why the SEGA Dreamcast is way ahead of its time. In many ways. I think visually this game is absolutely outstanding. It has internet features, and you know, I spoke a little bit there. I showed you there a little bit about the Chow Adventure. But what I'll actually do, also you can play it in 60 hertz as well, which couldn't be done on the N64 or PlayStation 1. I'm actually going to show you. I'm going to transfer Chow Chad from the VMU into the Chow Garden. So you're going to see like the integration features there. If you get time, I'll actually show us quite a few Dreamcast games if you want. Okay, so I'm going to go to stage select, and I'm going to go to Chow World, I'm going to go as Dr. Robotnik because he just looks hilarious running around the place, to be honest. Hello, Chad Middleton, or should I say, Ciao, Chad. Welcome back to Green Hill Gaming, Ciao, Chad. I should say good morning to you. Good morning. How are you today, Chad? How are you this morning? Because it's morning time in the world of Ciao, Chad. Chad, you're very welcome to the live stream where I'm showcasing the SEGA Dreamcast, the console that was ahead of its time. And now I'm going to show one example of why the Dreamcast was ahead of its time, and that is the integration between the SEGA Dreamcast visual memory unit and the game itself. So I showed Chow Chat earlier in Chow Adventure 2. So I'm now going to transfer Chow Chat into the Chow Garden and show you what you can do. So Chow Chat is inside this device here, the visual memory unit. So we go over to this area here, the Chow transporter, select the Chow that you want to bring from the visual memory unit into the garden. It takes a few moments. So Chow Chat has been flung, literally flung from the VMU into the Chow Garden. So once I figured out how to pick him up now again. Wake up, Chad. Okay, so I have Chad in my arms. We just woke up. Good morning to you, Chad. Hope your morning is going well so far. I am Dogger. So I am going to take Chad up here to the minigame section. Now I showed you the stats earlier in Chow Adventure. I showed you some of Chow Chat's stats like swimming and flying. I'm not going to show you what that does. So we're going to do a beginner race, and I think he had high flying stats. I don't know why that's just stuck in my head. So yeah, compete in flying. Let's do some flying. I think his course record is 31 seconds, I think. Let's see if we can do better. So you can actually press L and R triggers to cheer for your Chow, but you do too much, it's not going to be good. And the race is about to start. Let's cheer for Chow Chad in the comment section below. Here we have Chow Chad, which you saw earlier in Chow Adventure on the visual memory unit. He's now been transported into the game itself, and we're going to do some racing. Let's go, Chad. Chad is currently in first place. Let's go, Chad. Let's go, Chad. I think that's first place for Chad. Possibly. First place for Chad. Well done, Chad Chow. Chad Chow has won the race because in his adventures and Chow Adventure on the Sega Visual Memory Unit, he would have increased his flying stats through various means, basically, just through his adventuring. So that's an example of, well, first of all, an example of how the Sega Dreamcast was ahead of its time, but an example of the integration between the Sega Dreamcast Visual Memory Unit and Chow Adventure and the main game itself, and how they both connect. And this was like, well, the game came out in like 2001 or something like that, but it's 1999 hardware. I mean, so ahead of its time. I mean, again, I want to point out that its competition, it was the visual memory unit. That's his competition right there. You know, so vastly ahead of its time. Chow Chad, well done to Chow Chad for winning that race. Let's do another race. Let's see if he wins another race. So that was flying. I think swimming was another one of his. I think his swimming stats were high as well, actually. So compete in flying, did that already. Compete in running. Compete in strength. Let's do. I think his strength is high as well, though. I'm gonna go with strength. I think strength was high. I'm probably wrong now, to be honest. But let's see anyway. Let's go, Cho. Kick some ass, Cho. Chad is ready. That guy is just. Those two guys are just having an awful, fantastic, a great green. Okay, strength. I think that's Chad, yeah. Go on to Chad. Oh, I think that was just a complete whitewash for Chad. Yeah, once again, Chad wins. First place. Congratulations indeed to Chow Chad. Okay, so I think it is time to put Chow Chad back into his home of the visual memory unit. Where did he go? Good job, Chad. So we put him back into the visual memory unit. Like literally, like it's crazy you can actually see it happening. It's literally what's happening right now. So we put him back into the Chow transporter. Saving. Save completed. Okay, so Chow Chad is back in the visual memory unit. Now we're going to pretend that I'm heading out. Turn off the console. Turn off the TV. And you take the SEGA Dreamcast visual memory unit out of its controller, and let's pretend that we're sitting on top of Mount Everest, thousands of miles away from my home and console and TV. Chow Chad was definitely on a roll. I'm doing Mario Kart 8. Oh, nice one. Nice one. Mario Kart 8, man. Enjoy. So let's now that Chow Chad is back inside this thing and we're sitting on top of Mount Everest, let's go on another adventure. So Chow Adventure 2. And while we wait for something to happen, so I was talking earlier about the stats. So this is where you can actually see Chow Chad's stats. So he, as you can see, he's swimming stat is 30, flying stat is 28, run is 22, power is 15 actually. So I was kind of surprised that he still managed to win with a 15 power. Luck is 100. In I don't know what int means. Maybe it's Instagram skills. 14 joke. Stat is 22, whatever the hell that is. So now we just basically wait. This can take some time. I'm not going to lie. This can take some time. So you don't actually need the visual memory unit to actually play Sonic. So I'm actually going to play some Sonic. Actually, you don't need the the visual memory unit at all. Although if it does want one, because you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, I'm going to pop one of these into it. I literally have 4 of these. I got 4 of these things. Same. So we're just waiting over a beep. We'll wait for Cho Chad to tell us what's going on in the world of Cho Adventure. But while we wait, we'll actually play some Sonic Adventure 2. Hello, David, Super David. Welcome back to Green Hill Gaming. Yeah, the Sega VMU. Oh, I'll be notified that something is about to happen in Cho Adventure. So again, just pretend that we're sitting on Mount Everest. We're thousands of miles away from the TV and the console and the home. We're on Mount Everest. Super David, Mount Everest. So I hope you're keeping well, by the way, David. So, what's happening with Cho Chad? There has been a lot of new Cho coming to the Cho garden. Has there no, Chad? Everyone wants to be pet by Shadow. Who would actually want to be pet by Shadow? Chad wants to be pet too. More than I want my friends to like me. I want Shadow to like me. So I think Chow Chad has a bit of a crush on Shadow. That's okay. I want everyone to adore me. I wonder what I have to do become an idol. Well, Chow Chad wants to become an idol. And welcome indeed, Super David. So while we're here now again, we'll let's play. Oh shit, I went out of it by accident. We'll go back in. Let's play some slots. See if I can win anything. So again, pretend we're sitting on Mount Everest right now. Oh, I got something. Let's see what that is. I think it's an item. So we go to items. Oh, that's, I didn't get an item. Okay, never mind. But yeah, that's so we'll just let Chad go for a stroll there now again. And then we'll continue playing some Sonic Adventure 2. So that's an example of how the VMU, the Sega Dreamcast Visual Memory Unit, was really ahead of its time. Again, I want to point out that its competition. Oh, got 4 of those things. Its competition was this. Also, the fact that you could actually choose to play your games in either 50 hertz or 60 hertz was not possible on the N64 or the PS1. So we would play obviously in 60 hertz. This is a different VMU, so I am going to be at the very beginning of the game, which is completely fine. Don't mind playing the beginning of this game. It's a really fun game. So we'll keep the live stream rocking and rolling. Now I've actually got time enough, so I've got battery enough as well. So I might even play another Dreamcast game after this. I kicked off the live stream with Soul Calibur, Chad. Sorry that you missed that. I might go back and actually play some Soul Calibur actually after this. So we're going to create a new file. One player, hero. Now just look at the visual quality of this game running on 1999 hardware and compare it to a 3D platformer on the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation 1, because those are the 2 consoles that the Sega Dreamcast was competing with at the time. So yeah, Sega Dreamcast was vastly ahead of N64 and PS1 in the area of specs as well. And you can see right now that the visual memory unit is displaying a portrait of Sonic the Hedgehog to indicate which character you're actually playing as at the time. Dreamcast gaming, indeed, indeed. Full CD quality music as well, which was definitely not possible on the N64. Of course, the PS1 was more than capable of handling CD. I mean, the PS1 had discs as well as the Dreamcast. I actually forget how to do stunts. Oh, I just realised this is a new save file, so I don't have my I don't have all of my powers just yet. Good old homing attack. So yeah, I mean the environments are just really like rich and detailed for its time. Sonic, you know, fully 3D modeled, very detailed. I mean, even the posters around. I mean, you could fully readable posters. You know, the font is fully readable. I mean, for God's sake, like the Grand Theft Auto, the GTA trilogy, the Defective Edition. I mean, can't even do a good job with with the font, you know, of posters that were around, you know, Liberty City, Vice City, and San Andreas. So, like, it's saying something that the Dreamcast can actually pull off better, you know, visuals when it comes to the font and text of, you know, posters than like PS2 quality games. Now that's down to Grove Street Games, of course, and Rockstar. There's nothing on, you know, there's nothing on PS2, like, you know. But just very detailed. I mean, you can just fully read this poster, like, doesn't blur out, doesn't pixelate or nothing. Amazing visuals. Like, this game looks amazing. It still looks amazing. Like, I think that's what really stands out. Like, is the fact that it still looks good to this day. Oh, you bastard. So, Chad, or Choke Chad, do you want to see some Soul Calibur in a moment? How would you feel about a bit of Soul Calibur gameplay? Gotcha this time. You know, I've honestly played GameCube games that look just as good as this. I mean, I had this game on GameCube. I had the GameCube version, um, Sonic Adventure 2 DX, I think it was called. And I mean, it just looks just as good. And that's saying something. Again, I don't focus too much on the year that the games were released. I focus on the year that the console hardware was released. That's what I tend to focus on. You know, this is a game running on 1999 hardware. Been chased by a giant truck. Dear God. You know, people would be surprised and unaware of what the Sega Dreamcast paved the way for a lot of gamers. Go! Oh, I must show you. I must show you something else before we move on from Sonic Adventure 2. Completely forgot about it, actually. Don't know if I can do it now, actually, because I haven't reached this Chow Garden yet. I'll have to put... Or maybe I did get a Chow Garden. No, I didn't get the Chow Key. I don't think I got the Chow Key. No, I didn't get a Chow Key. Soul Calibur, I'll take that as a yes. I'll take that as a yes. But what I actually want to do before that, unfortunately, I'll have to say good night to Chow Chad and Chow Adventure. But we got to see a little bit of that, which was fun. Not as fun as the... How was your day? Oh, good, man. Good. Thank you for asking, Chad. Thank you for asking. What about you, Chad? How are you feeling at the moment? How was your morning going so far? This bloody camera want to focus then, now, wouldn't it? So I'm actually going to put the other side of Samus from time to time. No, it's fixed. Yeah. Do you know what I think it actually is? I think it's the candle. The light from the candle. Right, so what I was going to do. Right, so I'm going to put in the visual memory unit with the save file for Sonic Adventure 2. I actually want to show you the internet features that this game had. Obviously, Sega servers are no longer live for the Sega Dreamcast. It goes without saying. There's different ways to kind of to hack it. You can, you know, there's like homebrew kind of servers, which is insane, to even think is possible, to be honest with you. But it is, nonetheless. So what you need to do is you need to go into the Chow world, but there's another part of it that you go into, and you can check things like leaderboards and there's events as well, which is just mental. Oh, it's actually on the title menu, actually, as well. I actually forgot about that. It's actually on the title menu. So you actually see from the title menu internet features. So once again, the Sega Dreamcast released in Europe. It says new file. I don't have to wait. Oh, I put in the wrong. Never mind. Can I go back? I put in the wrong one. Which one is it? It's this one, I think, is it? I think it's this. Sega Dreamcast released in Europe in October of 1999, and it had a built-in Ethernet connection, so you could connect your Dreamcast to the internet at launch in 1999. That kind of those kind of features and that kind of technology wasn't available on the PS2 until June of 2003. So that's an example of how ahead of its time the Sega Dreamcast was. That's for sure. Chow Chad just wants Shadow's love. He does. He does. I hope Chow Chad and Shadow, you know, share each other's love. Especially Valentine's Day around the corner as well. So here we can actually look at this. Connect to internet. It's an example of how ahead of its time the Sega Dreamcast was. Obviously I can't connect right now, but I want to show you what would happen if I let's pretend this is like 2001 or whatever, when this game came out, and we'll try to connect to the internet. So this is what actually happened. So you select the VMU button, and you need to bloody hell, I have no idea what I'm doing now, to be honest with you. I don't think I have a free slot, but let's put in another one. Let's put in this one. Not quite sure what's happening. Oh, there we go. So this is actually it's crazy to see this. Obviously, I'm not connected to the internet, but this would if I was connected to the internet, right? Um, this would take me to the website for Sonic Adventure 2. The actual login ID is not being sent. So a problem has occurred while you try to log on, and you can try redialing. So I can reconnect even though I'm not connected. But let's just say this was 2001, and let's say that I had my Ethernet cable connected from the Sega Dreamcast into my modem, and I was online. I'd be able to go directly to the Sonic Adventure 2 home page. But that's not where it ends. I didn't have internet. I don't think anyone had internet in 1999. That's the thing, man. That's how ahead of its time it was. I mean, who the fuck had internet in 1999? I mean, let's face it. Like, you were either a fucking rich kid, you know, or I don't know, man, fucking living in Japan or something. If you had internet in 1999, that's how ahead of its time it was. That's why you find it funny, like when Xbox came along and we're like, oh, we're how do we go back? We've got Xbox Live. Well, I mean, this was before this was before Xbox Live exit the game. So yeah, once again, if I was connected to the internet, I'd be able to go onto its home page and check what's going on and stuff like that. Again, this is 1999 hardware. I know the game didn't come out until like 2001, but there was no way that the N64 was connected to the internet or the PS1, and even the PS2 didn't have internet features until 2003, June of 2003 to be exact. I really have two VMUs inside the fucking controller. Look at that. It's like a fucking Big Mac of controllers. So stage select, and I'm gonna go to show world again. I'll always choose Robotnik. And Soul Calibur is coming up. Chaddy boy, Chow Chad. Show world. So I think we go here. And we go up to the bulletin board. So this is Chow bulletin board. Start the browser and go to Chow BBS. After closing the browser, you will go back to the title screen. So again, it's going to bring me to that browser page again, but obviously I'm not connected to the internet. But from here, you can check all sorts of news about the game. And I mean, this was like, Jesus Christ, way, way ahead of its time. There was just nothing like this. And just to give you an example, I mean, there was Fantasy Star Online was a game you could play online on Dreamcast. Quake 3 Arena was also a game you could play online on the Sega Dreamcast long before, like, Call of Duty or Battlefield or anything like that. Long before Halo was a thing. Everyone likes to give Halo all the praise and everything else, but no, obviously I'm not connected to the internet, so I can't do that. But even Sonic Adventure 1 had online events. It actually had events. It was called online events, literally called online events. So we're going to exit back to the game now. I think that's it basically. But you could even like download certain like there was different kind of stuff you could download. It's just insane to think of it, like, I mean, just how ahead of its time it was. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for Sonic Adventure 2. Now it is time to play some Soul Calibur, just for chat. And for anyone else as well. So thankfully my SEGA Dreamcast is actually up and running. It's actually working fine. The one that I got on eBay, one that I won in an auction. Oh yeah, speaking of auctions, I'm actually bidding for Shenmue. I decided to actually to get it. Chat. It's actually not online. I must have been getting mixed up with a different game. I must have been getting mixed up with Fantasy Star Online or something like that. I was looking at it. The voice acting is terrible. But I mean, if I can play a Resident Evil 1 to this day with the terrible voice acting, I can handle the terrible voice acting in Shenmue. But it looks like, what I like about it as well, it's actually one of those games, Chad, where it kind of paved the way for modern games that we play now. A lot of people believe that it paved the way for even games like GTA 3 and Watch Dogs and even Fallout games, that it was kind of action adventure RPG, you know, action adventure RPG games to be specific, you know, like Watch Dogs would be considered an action RPG. I'm not too sure about GTA 3 being an action RPG, now to be fair to the truth, but it's supposed to open world kind of action adventure aspects to it. But yeah, it paved the way to a lot of those games. Did Shenmue on Sega Dreamcast, so that'll be a perfect example of yeah. I only have a couple of hours left. I don't know. I mean, I haven't checked my emails, so I may have gotten outbidded, but I don't think I see any updated emails here. Don't think I've been outbidded. I think there's like there was a good few bidders. To be fair, no, there was a good few bidders. I only increased my bid by like €1 or something like that because I'm a cheap cunt. But yeah, hopefully no, I will win that. So I'm going to put this back into it. So I'm going to get Soul Calibur out. Soul Calibur, another fine example of how the Dreamcast was ahead of its time, and particularly in this case in the area of the visuals. And actually, I'm thinking of getting Mortal Kombat Gold as well, but I think it's costly online. It's like fucking nowadays, man. A lot of retro games are fairly costly. There's assholes online who have absolutely no interest in gaming, no knowledge of gaming, other than they just know what games are rare and how they can make money off it. It's a bit like scalpers, really. It's like basically they're just scalpers, but for retro games. I'll fix the camera in a moment. Just bear with me. Happens from time to time. Needs to focus. You know what I think it actually is? I think it actually is a candle. I can put it over there. No. The lighting is... No, it's not. Well, I might as well read some comments while I fix my camera. It's getting an anime after all these years. So that could be the next step for Shenmue. I remember watching this guy on YouTube. He's basically like a retro reviewer, you know? And he was talking about like that they never really finished the series. So they were like, so I know, I think I actually have to just give me a moment. You're gonna see my face now for a second. This is gonna be funny. It's just wiping the camera. Hopefully that'll make a difference. Nice. Has that made an improvement, I wonder? But yeah, that could be the anime. No, could be their way of actually. I didn't choose 60 hertz. I'll just reset the game because there doesn't seem to be an option to do it in 60 hertz. Kind of playing 60 hertz, like, you know, an example of the Dreamcast being ahead of its time. So yeah, I'd say with this anime, no, Chad, they'll probably complete the story of Shenmue. Does seem like an interesting kind of a game, though, to tell the truth, like, you know. Okay, 60 hertz. Namco, as you know, made the Tekken series, another iconic. So I've done arcade a few times. I might actually do mission battles. There's a solo character with different mission goals. I wonder what that is. I've got a new character. I might as well choose him. So what's my mission? Read the mission description to start the battle. An art gallery as well. Let's do some missions. You are in the deepest part of the Himalayas. You are in search of an old man known as Edge Master, a man who has mastered countless types of weaponry. Your goal is to train with this elder before embarking on your search around the world for the legendary sword Edge. You have a hard journey ahead of you. The old man crosses his arms and falls silent in contemplation for a moment, and then begins to give you counsel on how to proceed on your journey. In order to travel the world in search of new battles, you must first prove yourself in battle. Simply attacking the enemy is not always the correct path for achieving victory in battle. You must satisfy the rules of engagement of each contest. The rules are written at the end of each mission description in coloured letters. Be mindful of the rules as you begin your battle. Once you emerge victorious from your battle and earn points, you can select Art Gallery from the map screen menu and purchase art cards if you have enough points. I love when I hear points, you know, because back then it was points. Nowadays it's microtransactions, it's credits. Sickening, to tell the truth, like. It really is. Soul Calibur has come a long way. It sure has. If you go forth and purchase the art cards, new adventures will come your way. Keep this in mind as you take on new battles. The old man grasps his weapon after dispensing his wisdom to you about your journey ahead. Although this may come as a surprise, I must see for myself if your fighting skills are worthy. Oh, have no fear. All I ask for you is to defend yourself from my attacks. Remember, you will be injured gravely if you fail to defend yourself. You must use the guard move to protect yourself from an enemy's attacks. Press A button to guard. To protect yourself from attacks around your feet, you must guard while in a crouch position to use a low guard. Press the A button while pressing down on the directional pad for a low guard. If you get stuck on a mission, use the practice mode to analyze your performance and improve your fighting skills. Guard against the elder's attacks. Yes, Jesus, I'm ready. Christ, that was a massive explanation there of how to just press 8 guard. Jesus Christ, game. Edge Master. He's really edgy, isn't he? He's an edge master. He's literally an edge. What do they call him? An edge lord, is it? Fuck. Oh, Jesus. Ah. I won. You earned 60 points. You now have 60 points total. So this is like a combination of a story mode and a practice mode. Kind of reminds me of actually a mode that Midway Games at the time, now known as NetherRealm Studios, actually introduced in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. I actually wonder were they inspired by Soul Calibur. There's a mode like this in Deadly Alliance. It's actually Conquest, which would actually be expanded over the series in Deception and Armageddon, and ultimately it would become a full-on cinematic mode in the later Mortal Kombat games, and obviously crypt mode as well, actually. Thank you. That was pretty basic enough now to show. So I will now go to Art Gallery. So you can purchase something here. The Tale Begins prologue. So how many points? I have 60 points. So these are all random. And they all worth the same. Oh, this is worth 10, 30, 30. I'm going to get something that's costly. Okay. So you can't see what they are. So I'm just going to go with this. You bought a special art card. You opened a new stage, Maze of the Dead. I love it. So this is a new stage. Oh, I love it. Bit of a concept art there. I have no idea who the guy with the skull is, but oh, here we go. Soul Calibur Prologue Chapter 10. Mortal Kombat ensued. I love that. That's definitely a bit of an inside kind of a joke there, like, you know, and it's actually spelled with a C as well. I wonder how Ed Boon would feel about that. He'd laugh it off. Mortal Kombat ensued. Although the handler was too large to be held by the hands of the boy, he swung the giant sword effortlessly. The eyes of the boy were filled with madness as the sword cut the air with a terrific roar. When the battle was over, only the burnt-out remains of the pirate's corpse was left. In the blood-stained hands of the boy was the handler broken at his hilt. The image of Soul Edge enveloped in hellfire burned fiercely in the boy's eyes. Okay. It's a nice mode on the suit. The collection data. Oh, so I've only locked one character. Okay, again, I think mission mode is how do I exit? I don't know if set. Alright. But save my data first of all anyway. Do you wish to save mission battle data? I do, yeah. No, I'm gonna. I don't know why it says reset. That should be exit. Returns to the title of the screen. So what was new in that mode again? Mission battle is basically a combination of training and story mode, which is something that Ed Boon introduced in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing there now for the truth. Introduced in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. It's a conquest mode. But we can talk into some actual gameplay now. Some proper Soul Calibur fighting. So considering he's a new fighter, let's go with him. Is he not in Tekken? No, I was thinking of something else. Oh, wow, nothing. And just look at those visuals. 1999 hardware. So what makes Soul Calibur stand out to other fighters is the fact that it's so easy. No, but it's the fact, no, believe me, this game is dirt easy. It's the fact you're actually fighting with weapons. I'm so surprised that I won. Not really. I mean, look at the way that his clothing is moving in the wind and everything. I mean, just look at those details. Like, boom, sweet chin music, fucking flurry there. A flurry of sweet chin music. Shawn Michaels would be impressed. Oh, man, look at those details. Then. I've knocked her off the stage. This is one of the ways you can defeat your opponents in this game. It's my duck. Loved Soul Calibur on Dreamcast and Wii. Zelda appeared. Oh, that's right. That is right, man. Thank you for that blast from the past. And Mighty Duck, you are very welcome back to Green Hill Gaming. How are you doing, Mighty Duck? How is your day been going so far? Welcome to my live stream where I'm showcasing the console that was ahead of its time, the SEGA Dreamcast. And I do indeed remember when that game came out. It had on GameCube as well. It had Zelda, Link on the GameCube. No, it was Zelda. And then they had like Tekken characters, I think, for the PS1 version. And I remember that. They had exclusive characters. I actually owned the latest one on Xbox also. The Witcher was it? The Witcher was in it. That's insane, man. Oh man, I gotta track down that fucking game somehow. The Witcher, like, Jesus, man. But man, you know a lot about this console, Mighty Duck, so I don't need to go into the ins and outs of it, but you just know how much ahead of its time it was. Just one area that I'll point out is the internet capabilities. When the Dreamcast launched in October of 1999 in Europe, it had a built-in Ethernet cable, so you could connect your Dreamcast to the internet at launch in 1999. The PS2 would release over a year later in November of 2000, and that wouldn't have internet capabilities until June of 2003 with the network adapter. And obviously the PS2 Slim had an internet cable, but that released like years later. So just way ahead of its time. 4 had Star Wars. That's insane, man. Absolutely definitely way ahead of its time. My browser disc here. Ah, nice one, man. Mighty Duck is his browser disc and everything, man. That's insane. And another example of how ahead of its time the Sega Dreamcast was to its competition, which would have been the PS1 and the N64, is the visual memory unit. Right now it's displaying a portrait of my character. PS3 got Darth Vader. That's insane, man. And 360 got Yoda. Both had Star Killer. Oh man, that is absolutely insane. It really is. It's a very easy game though. At least the first one is anyway. And the fact that you can play it in 60 Hz as well. No N64 or PS1 game offered 60 Hz display. And some of the games you could play online on Dreamcast were Phantasy Star Online and Quake 3 Arena. Long before like Halo came along, like, you know. So it really was ahead of its time. Just look at these visuals. Man, she looks like Melina from Mortal Kombat. Oh yes, I just completely fucking kicked her off. What's that move called again? Like bicycle kicked her or something. You can still connect it online through Retro P to play Dreamcast games online. Man, I gotta try that actually, just out of interest, because that would be insane to be able to play your Dreamcast online in 2022. Like, out of the ring. Just look at the details on the characters right now, even the way their clothing moves, and the environment, the lighting effects as well, special effects, just crazy. Its competition would have been, particularly on PlayStation 1, would have been Tekken 3, because I think that released around the same time as Soul Calibur. There was a couple of fighting games on the N64 as well, and I can tell you for a fact, no N64 game can match the visuals of Soul Calibur right now. And even Tekken like would have been. I don't want to have a go at PlayStation here. Like, I don't want to be accused of bashing PlayStation here, but like the character models in Tekken, even Tekken 3, were a lot more like blockier. They were like pixelated, like. And you can just see the clothing on my character just moving with the wind right now. It's just really something else, like, you know, again, like way ahead of its time. But I must send you a pic of the games I have. Do. I have a Blue Stinger cartridge. Cartridge was limited, man. Also. Oh damn. Limited cartridge and everything. Boom. Oh, Mighty Duck. I'm currently in a bid for Shenmue. She looks like Yuna from Final Fantasy X. Dreamcast was essentially an arcade machine in terms of specs. Oh man, that's exactly what this guy on YouTube was saying about Shenmue. Shenmue, yeah. He was no cartridge N64 was limited, so never was a. Oh yeah, sorry, I read that wrong. Never was a match for the competition because unfortunately Nintendo decided to stick to their guns with cartridge technology, while PS1 and Dreamcast went with the CD technology and was miles ahead. Shenmue is getting an anime duck. I have Shenmue Man boxed here. Ah, nice one, man. I'm going to be getting mine now. Hopefully, I'll win the bid. I'd say more than likely I will, and I'll be getting it shortly in, and I can live stream it. I was watching a review online. The voice acting is shocking. It's actually hilariously shocking. It's like Resident Evil 1 on PS1. I actually might be able to fit in one more Sega Dreamcast game in this live stream. Seen that, Chad. It'd be interesting to see though, will the anime finish the Shenmue series, because there was people talking about that they never actually finished the story after part 2. So I reckon they probably will do that. Oh, this switch in music for out of the stage. I love it. It's great that I'm actually playing a lot more of Sega Dreamcast. I had these retro consoles just literally sitting in my room, and they were just not played, So it's great that I'm actually playing these consoles and the games on them, more importantly. Now look at the lighting effects here. On 1999 hardware. That looks like fucking Demon Souls in the background. And the guy I'm fighting actually looks like, wait, don't they make Demon Souls? Namco Bandai. I'm probably wrong. Did Namco Bandai make Demon Souls? They released. Oh, did they release Shenmue 3? Oh, well then that's probably when they completed it. So it must have been an old video that I came across. Because he was talking about Shenmue 2. Shenmue 2. Can someone tell me? Oh, they publish it. Oh, okay, they publish it. But doesn't this area look very like Demon Souls? Well, obviously the fact that it's a castle, like, and it's very like medieval, like. But I don't know. I got a massive sense of Demon Souls there. That's a game I tell you the truth, I actually regret getting Demon Souls. I'm not gonna lie, because like it was just too much, like, you know. I definitely bit off more than I could. I fucking thought that was a fucking Snapchat fucking call there or something coming through. Not a fucking Snapchat. That was like the music there in the background. It's crazy, man. From Soft. Oh yeah, From Soft. There you go. I think Bandai. Yeah. That's what it is. They publish it. Okay. Oh man, look at the backgrounds there now. Like. Just look at the backgrounds there now. The mountains, man. That is impressive stuff for 1999 hardware, like. Fun fact actually about Soul Calibur is I was supposed to have gotten Soul Calibur on PlayStation 1, but they didn't have it, so we ended up getting Resident Evil instead. So I actually owe, like in a weird kind of way, I actually owe Resident Evil to Soul Calibur in a weird kind of a way. Don't regret it, man. It's really punishing. Oh, it's very punishing, man. What killed Dreamcast also was copies games could play on. Yeah, it was massively copied. So I have a copied disc myself with Crazy Taxi 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, uh, Marvel vs. SNK 2, and Street Fighter 3. And Inferno. No, I think the lighting effects here are absolutely outstanding. Outstanding altogether, like. I mean, again, for 99 hardware, just think about that every time. Just think about when this console released, the year this console released. And again, you can see a portrait of your character on the display screen of the visual memory unit years and years, decades before the Wii U released. Think of that. That's another example of how ahead of its time it was. It was a control. It had a controller with a display screen, essentially. And you know what? It's fine to say that the Wii U allowed you to play your games off the TV, and the Switch allowed you to play your games, away from your TV completely and from your home completely. But what I think is interesting, and to this day is still ahead of its time, is the fact that the mini games that you played on the VMU, like Show Adventure, were independent from the main game itself. It was its own mini game, and the VMU was its own mini device. That's what sets it apart, even to this day, to devices like the Wii U gamepad. I have loads of copied games also. I just bought a Jet Set Radio. Ah, nice one. The night on my Xbox. I actually have that on disc. Actually, the commentator reminds me of the commentator from Rock and Roll Racing. Actually, boom. What were weird? The head of SEGA at the time said the Dreamcast DNA was an Xbox, the original one, and 360. Hence, all the games came over to 360. I can definitely see it. Definitely when it comes to Xbox Live, the whole internet features kind of stems back to what the Dreamcast were already doing. What was brought up again a few minutes? That was brought up a few minutes ago. But yeah, I mean, like, it definitely does have the DNA of the Xbox. Like, I mean, I really feel like the Xbox is what this Dreamcast could have been, basically. So that is Soul Calibur. I have another game to show you. Well, actually, I see now that I unlock a new character first. Bob. But yeah, I've got another Sega Dreamcast game to showcase. Oh yes, Yoshimi Shusto. He's definitely in Tekken. No, well, all his names seem the same to me. I don't know why. That's got to be the guy from Tekken, surely. Anywho, I've got another game to showcase. So stay tuned for that. I'll just check the comments down there before I get the disc. Good job. Thank you. Thank you. A few months ago, I thought you said a few minutes ago. I was talking about it a few months ago. But yeah, there's definitely Xbox DNA in the Dreamcast and vice versa, vice versa. But I'm going to get that other game there now. I actually have more Dreamcast games than I actually thought. I actually had, to be fair. Oh, I'll be cracking this disc now, maybe. Alright. You're going to like this one. Because I personally believe that I've kept the best game for last. Johnny shaking his ball through the reflection of the TV. Yeah, look at it twerking there over in the corner. Yeah, he is in both games. That's insane. I knew it was him. Oh man, I'm going to play a lot more Soul Calibur. That means so the other guy that I was talking about could have been him too. I keep forgetting their names in Tekken. You may recognize the colours of this game. I think this actually could be a copied version. See the way it said loading Crazy Taxi. I think that I got this in Harry's. You know Harry's Mighty Duck. Chad Harry's is it's called Games Mania, but he calls himself Harry. He's definitely not Harry. Like his name is not Harry. Come on, like, but Johnny. So yeah, this has got to be in file saved. Okay, this has definitely got to be a copied version, but it's fine though. And look what we have on the VMU. Crazy Taxi. Hey, come on over, have some fun with Crazy Taxi. I actually had this on PS2. And you know what's really cool about this? I have that game. What a game it is, though. Soundtrack is fantastic. Pure arcade fun. And what's interesting is because this is the original Crazy Taxi, although it may be copied, but nonetheless still the original Crazy Taxi, is all the original locations and music will be here. So you can go to KFC and you go to Fila and all the classic songs. I'm going to go with just arcade. You can do all different modes. I'm going to go by original arcade rules. It was this game is difficult. Make no bones about it. I'm gonna go as this guy here. He's funny. Gus. Let's go, Gus. Hey, hey, hey. I'm actually not ready, but you know. So we're gonna go to the cable car stop. Shit. It's the reversing that gets me. Like you really have to know how to drive almost. I do not know how to drive. This is basically if I was driving, it would basically be a real life version of Crazy Taxi. So this is one of the most popular arcade games, like in Ireland, probably the UK as well, or just in general, basically. I don't know why I'm singling out regions, but like this was in one of the arcades where I used to go to Yall or Yogal, if you're American. No offense, Chad, but some people pronounce Yall. Oh Jesus, there's nobody here. shit. Get in the car, you bitch. Kentucky Fried Chicken. So this game contains KFC because it's the original version. They had to remove it in the ports. I would presume because of licensing issues. But yeah, we're going to go to KFC. Get it on my way. And I will check the comments in a moment. Sorry, no. Come on. Wasn't too bad. I was hoping for speedy, but I'll take normal any day of the week. Very, very hard indeed. That's the Offspring band singing that. They sang "Why Don't You Get a Job" and "Pretty Fly for a White Guy." Did they? That's the crowd that sang "Pretty Fly for a White Guy." I didn't know that. You know the character selection screen, man. GTA PS2 days, cartoon drawings, loadings are the exact same as the game. You go back to the character selection. True, actually. Am I not exiting the... Oh. It's really tough to get a high score in this game, believe me. We are going to church. I think when it's red, it indicates that it's hard, as if long distance. So I'm going to regret picking up this fare. Two seconds, oh god. Look at that, ranked at 25th. It's insanely difficult to get a high score in this game. A D, like. It was my best, that's the thing about it. That is the thing about it. There was also a sequel to Jet Set Radio on Xbox only. That's right. Years ago called Jet Set Radio Future. I do remember that game actually. Nearly sure was exclusive. Yeah, it was exclusive. I will not register my name. Let's do a different route. So work for 3 minutes, work for 5 minutes. Let's work for 10 minutes. So that's enough time, isn't it? 10 minutes. Let's do some 10 minutes. And also, I think, I don't know if it was the original version or the port that came to PS2, but there was like kind of mini games as well you could do, like bowling and everything. In fact, that might have been the game I actually had on PS2 actually, was Crazy Taxi 2. Come to think of it. I like how I'm squeezing in most of my Dreamcast games into one live stream. Because it's not the kind of game that you need to dedicate your channel to. When I was celebrating 30 years of Sonic, you know, fair enough. But I don't think I need to dedicate my channel to Crazy Taxi. As crazy as it is, no pun intended. Uh-huh. I am. Oh, this game is a massive blast from the past. I can tell you that much right there. So I hope you're all enjoying the live stream. Thanks for watching. CJ. Yo, CJ. We're going to go to KFC to get 2 number 9s. And I do not know that order. I will never know that order. I admire people that know it. Pizza Hut is there as well, as you can see. I'm not going to Pizza Hut at the moment. See, this is why it's always better to have the original versions of the games. Because when they start removing stuff, but like GTA as well. I mean, I have the original GTA games as well on PS2, and they all have their original soundtrack, so don't have to worry about any content being cut or anything like that, you know. Where are we going? We're going to Square Park. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, look at him. He's got some Valentine's Day flowers. Oh, sweet. Tower Records. That's a real thing, isn't it? Place. I gotta say though, I'm actually more of a fan of Simpsons Road Rage. I know Simpsons Road Rage is obviously a parody of Crazy Taxi, but like, it's the fact that you have Simpsons characters, like, that's a game I have to track down and get. I think I still have it somewhere, actually. I think I still have Simpsons Road Rage. I have to go looking for that now after. If I don't, that's definitely my next game to get anyway. I think it's got on PS2. I got on PS2 there and everything. So that game is absolutely hilarious, like. Oh god, get out of the way. Ah, I'm sorry. I do. In that case. Got to go again. I'm hungry. Yeah, I'm hungry as well, man. I gotta go soon. Actually, myself as well. I'd say. Wait. Oh man, I got an email from eBay. Just give me a second there. The stream will be like paused there momentarily. Got to check to see my Shenmue. My Shenmue bid is about to end, so I think once I finish this, I will have a look at that, and hopefully I would have won. Oh, the camera is way out of focus there now. You're not focused, it's out of thing. Okay, there we go. I'm stuck. I'm trying to move. But it's funny, like, I mean, I just prefer the Simpsons Road Rage. Is that weird that I actually prefer Simpsons Road Rage? Well, you got here, didn't you? So shush. So they get the most out of this game. Better off just doing 10 minutes. arcade rules. And there's other modes in as well, like outside of outside of arcade. You got there, so sure, it's just the most important thing. Ungrateful bastards. You know, it really is a crazy game. Crazy taxi. It's KFC. It's crazy to see KFC like. Hey. I've Simpsons Road Rage stuck in my head now. I think I still have it. I think I still literally have the original version of it. God, that would be insane if I did though. You got here, so shut up. So it's actually been really fun to showcase the Sega Dreamcast in pretty much all its glory. Obviously, I couldn't connect online, and I hope people come away from this live stream and just realise that the Sega Dreamcast really was ahead of its time. You know, it's funny because we're used to saying that consoles are behind their time, like Nintendo. You know, Nintendo is behind the times a lot of the time when it comes, no pun intended, uh, when it comes to graphics, when it comes to the online, and a lot of other areas. I mean, we're used to talking about consoles that are behind their time, but in this case, we've got a console that's ahead of its time. So that's kind of crazy, I think. Like, and obviously no, the Dreamcast is behind. Needless to say, when the console came out in 1999. But when it released in 1999, it was so ahead of its time because of the fact that you could connect to the internet, display your games in 60 hertz. Just visually, the game just really stood out. Ah, shit. What we got here? Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get there on time. I'm sorry. How did I do? Let's see. How did I do? A B. I'll take a B. Fuck, I'll actually take a B any fucking day when it comes to Crazy Taxi. I actually will register my name actually, and it's gonna be Bob. No, Bob has been registered. Okay, so that is going to be pretty much the end of the live stream. Nash is back. I thought you were going to... Nash, you were gone for like an hour. And during that time, I actually played Sonic Adventure 2. Unfortunately. Sorry, man. Sonic Adventure 2 has already been played. I'm sorry. Sorry that you missed that. You're welcome to rewind the live stream and find when I was playing it. But I actually did play Sonic Adventure 2. You were gone for quite a long time. Like, when you said be right back, like, I took that as in, like, you would be right back. I didn't take that as in you'd be gone for an hour. So, sorry that you missed that, Nash. Oh, you did. I saw. Okay, no problem. Well then, okay, cool. You got to see it. Okay, so thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed Dreamcast console ahead of its time. So I'll catch you in the next live stream. Thanks for watching.